Live from New Delhi, you're watching DD India Live, India's voice to the world. I'm Abhishek Mahajan. Coming up in the next 30 minutes. Prime Minister Narendra Modi visits LNJP hospital in New Delhi, meets blast victims, reiterates his promise to bring conspirators to justice. India to get 8 cheetahs from Botswana. President Draupadi Murmu thanks her counterpart Duma Gideon Boko. And British Health Minister Wes Streeting denies charges of plotting ouster of Prime Minister Keir Starmer. Prime Minister Narendra Modi today visited LNJP hospital in Delhi to meet those injured in the recent blast incident. PM Modi interacted with the victims and their families, inquired about their treatment and conveyed his heartfelt prayers for their swift and complete recovery. Expressing deep concern over the incident, the Prime Minister reaffirmed the government's commitment to ensuring justice. In a post on X, PM Modi said, and I quote him here, "Went to LNJP hospital and met those injured during the blast in Delhi, praying for everyone's quick recovery. Those behind the conspiracy will be brought to justice," unquote. And in a latest in Delhi car blast, the Delhi police has sounded an alert across all police stations, post and border checkpoints in the national capital to trace a red Ford EcoSport car. The alert was issued after the investigation revealed that other suspects already connected to the Hyundai i20 used in the explosion were also in possession of another red-coloured car. At least 5 teams of Delhi police have been deployed to locate the vehicle, while neighbouring Uttar Pradesh and Haryana police have also been alerted to maintain heightened vigilance and assist in the search. Meanwhile, the National Investigation Agency has intensified. The team visited the blast scene and again checked the vehicles that were parked near Red Fort at the time of the blast. NIA officials are also inquiring from their owners as to how long the vehicles were parked there and whether these vehicles also had any role in the blast. And Prime Minister Modi concluded the 2-day state visit to Bhutan. The visit marked many important milestones in civilizational ties and development partnership between the two nations. DD India correspondent Shubhendu Ghosh puts the historic visit into perspective.
On day 2 of his state visit to Bhutan, Prime Minister Narendra Modi held talks with the 4th Druk Gyalpo Jigme Singye Wangchuk. The leaders discussed cooperation in energy, trade, technology and connectivity. PM appreciated the extensive efforts of the former king over the years towards further cementing India-Bhutan ties and lauded the progress in the Gelapu Mindfulness City project, which aligns with India's Act East policy. Later in the day, the Prime Minister joined the King of Bhutan, Jigme Khesar Namgyal Wangchuk, the royal family and PM Shering Tobge for the ongoing Global Peace Prayer Festival at the Changli Mithang Stadium in Thimphu. Amidst Buddhist chants and spiritual atmosphere, PM participated in the Kala Chakra initiation ceremony. The Kala Chakra empowerment is a sacred Buddhist ceremony that carries a universal message of peace, compassion, and harmony. It promotes the belief that world peace arises from individual inner peace, and thus the empowerment serves as a reminder of the shared responsibility to foster understanding and coexistence among all beings. Thousands of Buddhist monks and followers from Bhutan and the world had gathered at the stadium for the ceremony. Before concluding his visit, PM Modi stopped to greet and engage with Buddhist monks at the venue. Early on Tuesday, giving a boost to development cooperation between the two neighbors, Prime Minister Modi, along with the King of Bhutan, inaugurated the 1,020 megawatt Punat Sangchu 2 hydroelectric project developed jointly by India and Bhutan. The leaders witnessed exchange of MOUs in the fields of renewable energy and healthcare. Government of India also announced a concessional line of credit of INR 4,000 crores for Bhutan to fund energy projects. India is providing land in Varanasi for building a Bhutanese temple, monastery and guest house. The two sides underlined the importance of improving cross-border connectivity and infrastructure through integrated checkposts and cross-border rail links. In Thimphu, Prime Minister Narendra Modi also addressed an event to mark the 70th birth anniversary of the fourth king of Bhutan. The Prime Minister was on a two-day state visit to the Himalayan kingdom from the 11th to the 12th of November.
Prime Minister Narendra Modi's visit to Bhutan marked an important milestone in the relations between the close neighbours. While the modern development partnership was taken forward, it also energized the civilizational and spiritual connection, sending out a message of peace and solidarity. With camera person Senthil, Shubhendu Ghosh for DT India in Thimphu.
And the people of Bhutan expressed gratitude to the government of India under PM Modi's leadership for bringing Lord Buddha's holy relics. The holy relics brought from India to Bhutan for an 11-day display were carried by a high-level Indian delegation led by Union Minister for Social Justice and Empowerment, Dr. Virendra Kumar. Local Bhutanese people expressed deep gratitude to the government of India and Prime Minister Modi for this historic gesture. They said that bringing the relics to Bhutan has given them a rare opportunity to pay homage to Lord Buddha without having to travel abroad, something that would have required significant expense and effort.
I would like to thank our Honorable Prime Minister of the India. So, because in coinciding with that 17th birth anniversary of His Majesty King, so we are very lucky to have such relics in Bhutan.
Is a very holy, a great teacher for us, and bringing a part of him in Bhutan, a very authentic part in Bhutan, and we're very grateful for that. And we would like to thank PM Modi and all our Indian brothers and sisters for this great initiative.
This is a very historic and auspicious event. It's the very first time that the Piprawa Kapilvastu relics have been brought to Bhutan, and it offers our people the rare opportunity to connect with in the tangible form with the Buddha himself. We would like to thank the government of India, the International Buddhist Confederation, and the National Museum of India, as well as the government of Bhutan for making this exposition possible.
President Draupadi Murmu reaffirmed commitment to deepen bilateral cooperation across trade, education and technology in a meeting with President of Botswana, Duma Boko, at the presidential office in Gaborone. President Murmu held bilateral talks with her counterpart, Duma Boko, in Botswana on a 3-day visit to the country. This is the first state visit that Botswana president is hosting after coming to power last year. Both the leaders expressed solidarity and cooperation between India and Botswana. The President of India said the two countries will engage in further cooperation in areas like health and pharmaceuticals.
I conveyed to President Boko India's firm commitment to working closely with Botswana to further deepen our ties, as well as India's commitment to expanding its partnership with the African region, including within the framework of India-Africa Forum Summit.
And the President of India, Draupadi Murmu, visited the office of the Diamond Trading Company in Gaborone, Botswana. She was given a presentation on the diamond mining and the diamond industry in Botswana. The President also had to take a look at the different kinds of diamonds, its sorting and polishing mechanism at the Diamond Trading Company or DTC in Gaborone. The President was given a tour of the facility of DTC by the Minister for Minerals and Energy of Botswana, Bogolo Kenevondo. And 3 years after the launch of Project Cheetah, India is set to receive 8 new cheetahs from Botswana. President Murmu thanked her counterpart Duma Boko for donating the cheetahs, marking a new chapter in India-Botswana cooperation.
3 years after the launch of the Project Cheetah, Prime Minister Narendra Modi's visionary initiative to bring back the world's fastest land animal to India, the project now enters its next phase. India is set to welcome 8 new cheetahs from Botswana, a country that stands as one of the last strongholds of the species in the wild. In a moment rich with symbolism and friendship, President Murmu, during her state visit to Botswana, will formally receive the cheetahs from President Duma Gideon Boko on November 14, 2025. Botswana was chosen for this next chapter because it, along with Namibia, shelters more than half of the southern Africa's cheetah population, making it vital for ensuring genetic diversity and long-term success of India's reintroduced cheetah population. The mission was a remarkable display of international teamwork. A high-level delegation from Ministry of Environment, Forest and Climate Change, Government of India, led by Director General of Forest and Special Secretary Sushil Kumar Awasthi, visited Botswana in September 2025. The field team, led by wildlife veterinarians Dr. Eric Vernian of Wild Assist Africa, Botswana, and Dr. Sanat Mulia, nodal veterinarian from Project Cheetah, NTCA, working closely with Botswana wildlife officials, expert trackers from private ranchers, and researchers from Cheetah Conservation Botswana. Together, they formed a cohesive unit operating across vast stretches of savanna. Expert veterinarians and wildlife officials from both nations spent weeks tracking, darting, and safely capturing cheetahs from the vast savannas of the Ganzi district. This moment marks more than a conservative milestone. It's a powerful reflection of India and Botswana's shared commitment to wildlife protection and ecological restoration. Together, they are writing a new chapter in the global story of cheetah's return to the wild. Taposh Bhattacharya's report, TD India.
Some more updates. British Health Minister West tweeting on Wednesday denied claims he was planning to oust Prime Minister Keir Starmer after reports suggested a possible leadership challenge following this month's budget. Tweeting, seen as a rising star in Labour, told broadcasters the rumours were categorically untrue and called the internal briefings self-defeating. The denials came as Starmer's government battles plunging poll ratings just 16 months after Labour's landslide 2024 victory. Prime Minister faces growing unrest within his party ahead of a November 26 budget expected to include tax rises, breaking a key election pledge. And the Kremlin on Wednesday said that there had been contact between Britain's National Security Advisor Jonathan Powell and Kremlin Foreign Policy aide Yuri Ushakov, but said that the dialogue did not work out. The statement came out after media reports emerged that Powell had tried to open up a back channel to the Kremlin because Britain and its European allies fear the administration of US President Donald Trump could sideline their interest over Ukraine. Kremlin spokesman Dmitry Peskov said that Britain had shown no desire to listen to Russia's position on the Ukraine conflict. Now, Russia is ready to resume peace negotiations with Ukraine in Istanbul. Russian state news agency TASS cited a foreign ministry official as saying on Wednesday. Russia and Ukraine have had multiple rounds of talks in Istanbul, but those talks did not lead to any breakthrough. Ukrainian side proposed a meeting in August between President Volodymyr Zelensky and Russian President Vladimir Putin. The Kremlin subsequently said Putin was willing to meet Zelensky, but only in Moscow, a condition rejected by Kiev. Yet no meeting has been scheduled since the last meeting in July. A 51-year-old doctor from Saudi Arabia, Talib A, went on trial in Germany earlier this week. He was accused of ramming his highly motorized rental car into visitors of Magdeburg's Christmas market last December, killing 6 and injuring 344. According to a court spokesperson, Talib A could face the maximum penalty under German law that would be life imprisonment in addition to a finding. All right, we'll come back to this story, but we'll go across live to President Draupadi Murmu's address at the National Assembly of Botswana in the capital city, Gaborone.
It is a great pleasure to me to address the August House today. I thank you for giving me this honor. The National Assembly of Republic of Botswana is the temple of democracy of your proud nation. I bring to you the greetings and good wishes of the government and 1.4 billion people of India. I am delighted to be present in the vibrant city of go around today, I am truly overwhelmed by the warmth of welcome accorded to me and my delegation by the people and government of Botswana. I take this opportunity to thank His Excellency President of Botswana for inviting me to pay a state visit to Botswana. I also have, along with me, our Minister of State, Sri B. Somanna, as well as two members of Parliament, Sri P. Wasawa and Srimati D.K. Aruna. Since independence, the hard-working people of Botswana and the visionary leaders of Botswana have built a nation that stands tall for its commitment towards peace, stability, and inclusive development. Your remarkable progress from modest beginnings to a modern, confident, and prosperous society is an inspiration to everyone. Botswana is a shining example of democracy, good governance, and effective leadership. It is a testament of what is possible, and when a democracy is allowed to function for the welfare of the common people, when the national resources are deployed towards holistic development of the country and for the upliftment of the disadvantaged and less privileged ones. Honorable members of Parliament and my dear Speaker, India and Botswana share a natural friendship, one that is built on mutual trust and respect, shared values, and a common belief in democracy and human dignity. It is a friendship that has been built not with words and promises, rather on the bedrock of hard work, dedication, and people-oriented delivery. Over the decades, our partnership has not only been reinforced by our past collaboration, but also by the promise of its bright future. I am happy that my visit is taking place in the backdrop of our expanding partnership and also in the run-up to the 60th anniversary of establishment of our diplomatic relations next year. This is the first ever presidential visit from India to Botswana, and I have the unique privilege to be the first president of India to visit your beautiful country. It has been an honor for India to have been an early partner in Botswana's nation-building journey. Our cooperation has expanded across many sectors: education, health, technology, agriculture, defense, trade, and investments. However, among the sectors of our cooperation, we in India are most proud of our ongoing partnership in the field of capacity building and human resource development. In the last decade alone, more than 1,000 young friends from Botswana have studied and trained in India, returning home with new skills, expanded knowledge, and most of all, lasting friendships. Your Excellency, these people-to-people connections are, in fact, the real strength and driver of our enduring ties of friendship and cooperation. Excellencies, we as democracies need to be sensitive to the dreams and aspirations of our people, especially to the expectations of our youth. They indeed are the future, and they will define the trajectories that our countries eventually end up taking. The youth today do not just need education and skilling, but they also need avenues to build their professional lives and channelize their creative energies in nation-building efforts. For this to happen, We need to ensure robust and durable economic growth that is also environmentally sustainable. Today, as our economies modernize and diversify, new opportunities are emerging. We need to harness these new opportunities for the benefit of our people. Indian firms are active in Botswana's diamond, energy, and infrastructure sectors. We see immense scope for collaboration in renewable energy, digital innovation, pharmaceuticals, and mining. I invite the business communities from both our countries to work in collaboration to harness the full potential of our economic partnership. This would also be in consonance with Government of Botswana's Vision 2036 initiative. Today, India is the fastest growing major economy in the world. We are on a robust growth trajectory driven by structural reforms, digital transformation, expanding infrastructure, and a youthful workforce, which sustains GDP growth average 7 to 8% annually. India is poised to become the world's third largest economy within the next decade and an enduring growth engine for the global economy. The vision of Government of India of a Viksit Bharat, developed India by 2047 aims to transform India into a fully developed, inclusive, and resilient nation by the centenary of its independence, emphasizing innovation-led industrialization, clean energy transition, global competitiveness, and equitable prosperity. Honorable Mr. Speaker and members, our two countries are united in our belief that global development must be inclusive. Technology and progress should benefit all humanity, and not just a few pockets. India and Botswana can together contribute meaningfully to a fairer and more sustainable world order, one that not only supports but also helps build meaningful global South collaboration and a reformed multilateralism. We thank the Government of Botswana for their support to India's efforts for a reformed and expanded UN Security Council. In the larger context of South-South cooperation, the role of Africa cannot be overstated. Africa is the continent of the future. With its youthful demographics and vast natural resources, the continent can fuel the growth of global economy. Guided by the 10 principles enunciated by our Prime Minister in 2018, India is firmly committed to expanding its partnership with the African region within the framework of India-Africa Forum Summit. The collaboration between India and African countries can help unlock the energies of our 2.8 billion people, which is 40% of world's population. It is a matter of immense satisfaction for us that during India's presidency of G20 in 2023, we welcomed the African Union as a permanent member of G20. I firmly believe that India's vision of Viksit Bharat by 2047 and Africa's Agenda 2063 present an opportunity for active collaboration among our countries. If we can link our trajectories in a self-sustaining, positive manner, we can unleash our true economic potential, thus lifting millions out of poverty and giving everyone a chance to fulfill their dreams and aspirations. Honorable Mr. Speaker and members, The friendship between our nations is not just between the governments. It is a friendship between peoples who respect each other and share the same hopes for a peaceful and prosperous future. The vibrant Indian community in Botswana has been part of this inspiring bilateral partnership for over a century. While we celebrate their successes in your country, we also express our gratitude to the government and the people of this great country who accepted their Indian origin brothers and sisters with open arms and gave them an opportunity to contribute to economic development of Botswana and strengthening people-to-people ties between our two countries. Honorable Mr. Speaker and members, India is firmly committed to further deepen its partnership with Botswana across sectors and to share its development experience with Botswana. Let us work together to build a partnership that enriches both our nations and contributes to the greater good of the world. I thank you, Honorable Speaker and members of Parliament, for the gracious welcome extended to me and my delegation and for giving me this honor. May the friendship between India and Botswana continue to grow. Pula, Joy Hind.
All right, so that was President Draupadi Murmu's address at the National Assembly of Botswana in the capital city, Gaborone. To briefly tell you what she said, truly overwhelmed by the warm welcome accorded. She thanked President of Botswana for inviting, praised Botswana for peace, stability and inclusive development. She appreciated their good governance and leadership, praising Botswana. She said, your remarkable progress is an inspiration to everyone. Also mentioned about India and Botswana friendship, said both countries share a natural bond. Partnership has been reinforced, she said, and promised for the bright future. And first ever presidential visit from India to Botswana, she said, an honor for India to become Botswana's early partners. She also said that partnership has extended to several sectors between both the nations: trade, capacity building, human resource development. Also said that my visit is taking place in run-up to the 60th anniversary of our bilateral relations. She also invited business communities of both countries to harness full potential of economic partnership. She also said that India's fastest growing major economy in the world and poised to become third largest economy within the next decade, and India and Botswana can contribute to more sustainable world order. President also said that India is committed to build its relations with African nations through Indian-African Forum Summit. So this was primarily the gist of what she said, and we'll have a detailed story in our subsequent bulletins. Moving on, U.S. House of Representatives is expected to vote on Wednesday on a Senate-passed funding bill to reopen the government. The final legislation extends funding for most agencies until January 30th, while including 3 full-year funding bills for some parts of the government. House Republicans are confident that the package will clear the lower chamber. President Donald Trump is expected to sign it into law. The Senate approved the deal on Monday night, and House Speaker Mike Johnson has said he expects it to pass his chamber as well. Meanwhile, members of the House of Representatives headed back to Washington on Tuesday after a 53-day break, braving the congestion at the nation's tangled airports for a vote that could bring the longest U.S. government shutdown in history to a close. With nearly 1,200 flights cancelled on Tuesday due to shutdown, lawmakers, including Republican representatives Rick Crawford of Arkansas and Trent Kelly of Mississippi, said they were carpooling to the Capitol, while Representative Derek Van Orden said he was making the 16-hour drive from Wisconsin on his motorcycle. Well, that's all we have in this edition of DD India Live. But do let us know your thoughts on the news of the day. For those on the go, you can get all the latest news and updates from India and across the world on DD India mobile app. The app is available on both Android and iOS platforms. Scan the QR code on the screen to download now. And we'll be back with more news as it breaks here on DD India. I'm Abhishek Mahajan. From all of us here in Delhi, thanks for watching DD India Live.